Keith Rucker here at VintageMachinery.org. So this week's video is probably going to be a little bit short. Had a little incident take place this week that I'll share with you guys. It's really kind of got me a little perturbed, and it seems to be a trend of this stuff going on here lately. You know, a couple of weeks ago I saw anyway on James Kilroy's site, which I follow. James has got some pretty good machine shop content on his site, and I've been getting to know James a little bit over the last couple of months and watching his channel a good bit. And he had a situation over in Mississippi where somebody came out and shot at this truck and a drug deal going down. And then this past week we had Adam Booth, A-Bomb79, another YouTube machinist that I've followed pretty religiously here over the last couple of years, and have got to know Adam personally as well. You know, Adam sent me a text message this past week, told me that someone had broken into his shop and stole a bunch of his Craftsman tools, which really just got me mad. And I think he posted something on his latest video about that as well, so you probably have seen that if you've been following Adam's channel. And you know, when he texted me, it was before the video came out, and I had made a comment. I said, well, I don't know what's going on with our YouTube machinist community here lately, all the bad luck. Well, they got me too, guys. The very next day, after I found out about Adam's incident, I was had to go to a meeting up in Macon, Georgia, a couple hours north of me, between here and Atlanta. And I got to where I was going, parked my truck in the parking lot. I was in a hurry. I had seen someone else that was coming to the meeting that was up from me, and I needed to get with him beforehand. And anyway, I shut the door to my truck, took off, headed up that way. I've got a little fob on that I, lock my door with, and I've been having some trouble with it lately, and it doesn't always lock when I hit it the first time, and I guess I went off and left my truck unlocked. When I got through with my meeting that afternoon, it was actually on my way home. I glanced in the back seat and realized that the hard case that I keep all of my video stuff in was gone, and I knew it was back there. It was back there when I left to go up there. It rides in the truck with me most of the time. I use my cameras at work a lot, so I usually have them in the truck with me. And anyway, I got home, and I'm like, well, maybe I took them out and left them at home. No, it wasn't at home. Went out to the museum to see if by chance I had left it out there. No, it wasn't. I knew it. But somebody came by and I guess checked the handle on my door. The door opened up and saw that box sitting there and just snatched it out. There was a lot of other stuff in there that they could have taken, guys, but evidently that was they just snatched it out. Probably didn't even know it was in it, but they got my cameras, and they hit me pretty hard. I had a hard case, a little Pelican case that I carry my cameras in because I'm traveling a lot and protect them, but I had my main camera in there that I do most of my shooting with, which is a Canon DSLR, really nice, professional grade camera. I've had it for several years, really before I started the YouTube videos, but when I started doing the YouTube videos, that was the camera I went to because it shoots awesome video. I mean, it's literally a professional grade camera. They got it, of course it had the nice lens that was on it, had a telephoto lens was in the case. I had two GoPro cameras that were in there, both of them Hero 3 Black Editions, and really nice GoPros that I use for a lot of my when I'm running multiple cameras a lot of times, or sometimes I use the GoPro as my main camera. But I had two of those in there. They stole those in there that was in the box, as well as my wireless microphones. So basically wiped me out. So right now I'm shooting this at the house, and the only video camera I have left is the one that's on my phone, and that's what I'm using right now. So fortunately, I think it takes pretty good video. I'd actually use it sometimes in the shop, take a quick shot of things, and have used it. So hopefully this is going to work out all right temporarily. But as you can imagine, I'm pretty bummed. I mean, all in all, quite honestly, to replace everything that this thief stole from me, probably $2,500 to $3,000. And that was stuff that, quite honestly, that I had purchased over a long period of time. So you add a little bit here and there and build up your capabilities, and now I guess I'm going to have to go out and rebuy a bunch of that stuff all at one time right here before Christmas. So anyway, we're struggling with that right now. I will say I have shared personally with a couple of guys this, and two different people have offered to loan me a camera temporarily. Adam Booth offered to send me his extra GoPro, and Charles Marlin, who you guys know I go back and forth with a lot, who helps me with the 3D printing and stuff. He has a GoPro that he's not even using, and I told Adam, said, no, I need to go ahead and do something. Don't worry about it. Well, Charles didn't even ask me. He just put it in the mail to me. It hadn't gotten here yet, but he says, don't tell me no, it's already on the way. So thank you, Charles. That will at least get me by until I can get some new stuff ordered. And I'm looking right now. I'm trying to do some shopping and seeing what I need to get minimum to kind of get me back into the videoing business. So part of the reason why this is going to be a short video this week too is because I had a good bit of video footage that was on the cameras that I hadn't downloaded yet. Typically I bring my cameras in, every day after I shoot some stuff and download it, but for whatever reason, it's been several days and I hadn't downloaded the cameras. Also, my footage that I had shot last week with the mystery tool, for whatever reason, and it's just stupid now that I think about it. I didn't download it last week because I was working on a project and I knew I was going to need those files later, and I left it on the camera. Dummy me. I mean, that's rule number one. You always get this stuff on your computer as quick as you can. But I had some great videos shot of me as well as Roy showing how to use the mystery tool, and it's gone. It's gone. So we'll try to get through that another way. I don't have the tool. He took it back with him, so I can't recreate that easily. But anyway, I'm really bummed out this week. But with that said, we're going to trudge on, and we're going to try to pull together an odds and ends video. Like I said, it will probably be a little bit shorter this week, and we lost a good bit of stuff I was going to show you guys. But Saturday, I was out at the museum, and we poured some Babbitt, and I'm going to show you a few clips from that. And then I've got a couple other little things we'll throw in here as well. So, thanks, guys. Getting ready to pour the Babbitt bearings here on the jack shaft on the Vance planer matcher. And anyway, we got this all set up. So I've shot some other videos on pouring Babbitt, so if you really want to get into the nitty-gritty, I would suggest you go take a look at some of those. But we'll give you a quick overview of what's going on. So I've got my shaft in here, and I'm basically just got the shaft. I've turned these little rings, and that ring is so that the inside is just sitting on the inside of that shell, and centering that shaft in the shell. And then it's a little bit larger on the outside, and that just kind of serves as a dam to keep the Babbitt from pouring out in the pour. And I've got one on this side, and then there's another positioner over here on this side, basically doing the same thing. And then on the insides, I've just got some collars, and that's just there to serve as a dam. And if you look, I got some Babbitt material, which is damming material. This stuff right here, this is kind of the consistency of Play-Doh, but it's heat resistant, and that right there just kind of dams up any small holes in there and keeps the Babbitt from pouring out. The shaft itself, I hit it with the acetylene torch with just the acetylene, and we carboned it up, blackened it up, and that's just a release agent to help the Babbitt separate from that metal so it doesn't stick to it. So this shell is pretty much prepped up, or both of these shells are, for the pour. So what we're going to do now is put some heat on them, get them preheated to several hundred degrees. I've got my camp stove sitting over here with my Babbitt. I'll start heating that up, get it melted into the proper temperature, and then we'll just come over here and pour the shafts, and we'll show you that process. Alright, we just pulled the shaft off of here. These are still pretty hot, but you can see you got a real nice pour. That's about as good as it comes. And let's see the other side over here. Looks about the same. So now I'm going to have to get in there with a file and kind of clean the tops up. Get that little part that overflowed the top. It wasn't by much, but get that cleaned up. And we'll get these prepped up to pour the top halves. Alright guys, I've come in here with a file and just filed out that Babbitt on the top there and got it down flush with the casting. I came back, put my shaft back in here now, and next thing I'm going to do is we're going to put some spacers in here. And all this is just some gasket paper. And we're going to put them in between here. And I'm putting it right on top of this Babbitt layer. So in this Babbitt shell here, there's kind of a little narrow track that fits down in the slot to kind of hold that top piece in place and keep it from sliding side to side. I want that gasket to go in between the two layers of Babbitt. Normally you would put up your spacers in here to give separation between the two halves, and you can put different thicknesses in there to tighten or loosen the bearings. But for pouring, I want to actually put it in here, because if I don't, when I pour that Babbitt down, the hot Babbitt from the top will come down to the bottom, and it will actually fuse with the Babbitt in the bottom, and you won't be able to get them apart. So anyway, I'll put the spacer in here, and then when I actually put the shells together, we'll put the spacers in this area, but for the pouring purposes, they're going to go down in that slot. Alright guys, these bearings are poured. We're just going to let this cool off, and we'll come out here and take them apart and do a little scraping on them and get the oil grooves put in them just like we normally do. I'm going to have to leave here soon, so that may not make it into this video, but if you want to see that process, you can go back and look at some of my other Babbitt pouring videos. I've covered it pretty well in the past. Alright, so viewer appreciation mail. Didn't have a whole lot come in this week, but I did have one item that I thought was pretty neat that I wanted to share with you. And this came from, forgive me for not remembering this, Steve McKillen down in Florida. Sent me a little box, or sent me a little package in the mail, and in it was a really nice book. So this is called Fred Denba's, I think that's how you say his name, Age of Steam. And it's all about Fred, who, quite honestly, I was not familiar with until recently, when some of you guys shared with me some videos on YouTube about Fred. But Fred is a really neat dude. Lives over in the UK, over in England, I believe. This really he does a lot of stuff with the old way of doing things, stuff I'm interested in, a lot of steam related stuff, and he has just a really fabulous garden, he calls it, with steam stuff and line shaft stuff and machinery and stuff. And I've watched a few of his videos, and evidently he was featured a lot on the BBC over in England. And you know, quite honestly, guys, I don't watch BBC a lot. It's really not very available for me to watch, and I really don't watch a lot of TV, period, to be honest with you. But I was not aware of him, and again, until a couple of you guys turned me on to him, and I've been watching a lot of his videos and really enjoying some of the content. So this is a book that Fred put together a while back that just kind of talks about the age of steam. It's, you know, the history of steam. It's got some really cool pictures in here, some stuff that Fred's been involved in, and you know, some really cool steam engines, traction engines, locomotives, kinds of stuff. Again, mostly over in the UK, which a lot of neat steam stuff was over in that part of the world. But anyway, this is a neat book, and I'm looking forward. I'll read this. You know, as you guys know, I do a lot of traveling with my job, and spend a lot of time in airplanes and hotels and what have you. So this will probably get thrown in my travel bag, and as I'm traveling, it'll give me something to read to help pass the time away. So thanks a lot for sending this along, and I'm really looking forward to getting to know Fred a little bit better. I understand he passed away a while back, and of course is no longer doing this kind of stuff, but fortunately there's a lot of information that Fred put together, a lot of video information in particular that Fred put together through BBC, and I'm looking forward to catching up on more of that and getting to see some more of that. So thanks a lot. So some of you guys had commented that you wanted to see how we clean these pulleys up and get them prepped for painting. Andy Knowlton's out here with me today, and he's actually been doing some sandblasting while I've been over there working on the Ford Babbitt. But this is in my blasting cabinet. We just got the pulley in there and basically just taking the sandblasting head and trying to get these things cleaned up as good as we can. The blasting cabinet works real well in these pulleys because you can get in there in between the spokes and get in there a lot easier. Unfortunately, the bigger pulleys won't fit in this blasting cabinet, so we'll probably have to attack those with a wire wheel on a grinder or something, or either crank up the big sandblaster, which I really don't want to have to do. But anyway, this is what we're doing here. We're getting this up fully cleaned up. Also wanted to just kind of follow up on my last video that we shot, which was the one on pressing out the stuck shaft in the pulley. Wow, guys, you know, you guys really seem to like that one. I think I had more comments on that one video than on any other video that I've ever done, at least in the first 24 hours after it has been posted. My email was on fire there for a day or a couple of days. Still getting comments on it, but really, you know, hot and heavy for a couple of days with your comments from that. And, you know, most of them from you guys really telling me, I guess, you know, how much you enjoyed seeing that. And I want to thank you for the comments. And I was really kind of surprised that it got the reaction that it did, the positive reaction that it did. To me, it was, you know, something that I was really struggling with, and maybe that's what you like seeing. You like seeing me struggle with stuff and figuring things out. But I almost didn't even post it. I hate to say this, but a good lesson for me because it gives me a little bit better insight on what you guys like seeing. So anyway, thank you for all those comments. And I did want to follow up on something from that video, and I shot some video out there at the museum to do that. We'll put that in next. Anyway, I had a lot of comments in there from people talking about on the pulley itself, you know, that I shouldn't have supported the pulley on the rim because that was going to bend the spokes and potentially cause those spokes to bust out. And I want to just let you guys know for sure that is not what happened. And I'm going to zoom in here so hopefully you can see my setup a little bit better. And I wish that I had shown this in the video itself because it would have cleared a lot of this up. So maybe this will show up, but what you're looking at is the hub. And what I have down here is up underneath the bottom, I have some steel plates, and then I put some additional steel plates right here to kind of add some height to the bottom and get this up so that the rim of the pulley was not touching. So, you know, I can put my fingers up underneath there. It's raised up all the way around. I know in the video that probably looks like it's supporting it, but there's room in there where nothing was being, the rim was not being supported at all. So all of the weight, all the pressure on this was being pressed directly down through the hub, and that's kind of dark, it's not showing up well, but onto the plates up underneath the bottom. And that's the way you want to do a press job, guys. It's real important that you properly support these things anytime you're pressing, and that means putting the support right under the piece that you're supporting. Had I been supporting this by the rim or on the spokes, there's no doubt with the amount of pressure that I was using that pulley would have busted, the spokes would have busted out, and we would have basically ruined the pulley. And I say that because from past experience. Guys, when I first started doing machinery restoration years ago, I made the mistake of not properly supporting a pulley one time. And I'm a quick learner. It only took me one time, but we busted the spokes out of one. And anyway, I don't do that anymore. Well, all right, guys, I guess that's going to conclude this episode of Odds and Ends. Again, I apologize for being a shortened video this week. Again, I lost a lot of that video that I had planned on editing in here when my cameras were stolen by some scumbags. Anyway, I'm getting over it. I will recover. It just pains me. I'm still upset about it. Not only with me, but you know, it seems like there's just a trend of this stuff going around, and I don't know. Maybe I live in a sheltered world or something, but it seems like the world around me is a pretty good place to live, and then you just run into all this meanness and people that just don't care, people that will just go take something from you because who knows why. Well, I probably do know why. It's probably all got to do with drugs in most cases, so don't even get me started on that. I guarantee you that my cameras were converted to drugs, and that even bothers me more. But anyway, there's nothing I can do about it. And me sitting here ranting about it, you know, some of you guys made the comment in my last video that you're surprised you didn't see me go ballistic over some of the stuff, and I was pretty upset about this the other day. I've had a chance to calm down a little bit now, but anyway, it is what it is, and don't worry, it's not going to stop me. We're going to keep on posting videos on YouTube one way or another. I may have to go dig out the old antique tape VCR recorder that we used to have many years ago, and we may have to resort to that if we have to keep doing this, but we will keep the videos coming. So, as always, guys, I appreciate your comments. Would love to hear back from you, get some feedback from you about things. Again, if you have any suggestions, you know, I get suggestions from you guys on what you'd like to see in future videos. You know, sometimes it's something that, you know, is really not my area of expertise or something that I don't have a lot of experience with, but you know, if it is something that I can do, I'll try to work those in. Most of my videos, you know, at least in the shop, you kind of see me work on whatever I'm working on at that particular time, and that's kind of what you're going to see. I don't typically go out there and set up a special video just to do something. Although I'm not opposed to doing that if there's something you want to see and it's something that I can share with you guys, I'm not opposed to doing that. So anyway, throw those suggestions to me. Keep the comments coming. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. You know, I appreciate all the subscriptions, and we keep seeing the subscription numbers go up and up every week, which is awesome. And as always, just thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for all the support you give me. Thank you for all the comments you get. It really makes my day to be able to share stuff with you guys and get the great feedback from you that I do. So thanks a lot.